This is a big day for the Indian Cricket Podcast. The one and only Gundappa Vishwanath is on the show. Over 6,000 runs, 90 odd test matches. Every 100 that he scored, India won. Exploits in West Indies, in New Zealand, in Australia, all over the world. Was an absolute darling and continues to be an absolute darling of the cricket fraternity all around the world, an absolute champion. And one of the beautiful things that he's done now is bring this book out. It's called Wrist Assured. It's his autobiography and it's out now for all of you to buy, and the link is in the description as well. I thoroughly enjoyed reading it, but I also really enjoyed the conversation that I had with this incredible man, the simplicity that he uses, that he adorns when he speaks in conversations is absolutely wonderful, and nuggets of wisdom here and there, and nuggets of joy here and there in this entire conversation. So make sure you hit the subscribe button of this podcast to ensure that you get more of these interviews in the time to come, and hit the bell icon as well. All right, buy the book and watch the full episode. So thank you so very much. It is an incredible honor and a huge opportunity that you're here with us on the podcast. It means a lot to this show, and to be able to discuss the book with you is huge. But sir, I must tell you, I am extremely thankful also because you have given my father extreme bragging rights when he shares the link of this interview with his Bangalore friends. He's going to be a very proud man because I'm sitting with his boyhood hero, the one and only Mr. Gundappa Vishwanath. Thank you so much for giving us that opportunity, sir.
No, it's my pleasure, of course. It's been happening now. So after the book, certainly I want to uh, give more to the people who, because their support from the beginning has always helped me, to build my career. And I thought, when my cricket career finished, everything will be finished. No, but still they are still there to help me, and so still because of that I'm still going on. Thanks to all my fans.
So that's very modest of you, but I think in the book, as I kept reading it, the one theme that always recurred to me throughout the book was your relationships with people that have come as a byproduct of your experiences in cricket. Like that is one thing that really stands out, sir. Is that the central sort of thematic thing for your cricketing life as well? The people that came into your life, the relationships you built with them as you progressed in your cricket?
Yeah, well, they always thought that my elders, I always looked up to them. It so happened that I started playing cricket very early, so I just
Yeah.
always thought about my seniors, my previous generations. So that's where I gone into sort of a tip what they were doing when they played cricket like this, and
Mm.
so I just through that, and in what way they created this in their mind to play this kind of game, and this kind of the bowling, this kind of atmosphere, the people around, the crowd, how they
Yeah.
must have gone through. So that that's how I relate to them. That's really worked for me because they're the one. They gave me the confidence. I used to watch a lot of cricket before I played. So whatever,
Yes.
it's not because my hero still is Neil Howard. Yes, because
Yes,
I
sir.
not,
As I read in
yeah,
the book.
yeah.
Yes.
But only thing I not seen him play at all. But somehow, you just get into the in your mind that he's my hero.
Yes,
So,
sir.
but whatever I've seen about other cricketers, I just want to. Whenever I watched them, always thought, what, how did they play this kind of bowling? That is my question. I used to think myself, how did they play? In
Yeah.
what capacity they must have? So that's why when I started playing like that, so I always thought, oh, when they play like that, why can't me? Why can't I? Why can't I play like that? So that really hits me even now that that previous generations, they really gave me confidence.
Very challenging circumstances also, sir, if you think about it. In the 70s, before, obviously we are aware of the 83 World Cup changing things, but in the 70s, things are very different, sir. When you made your debut and you went on to play overseas everywhere, must have been quite the experience, sir, for you at that time to travel the world after, a wonderful start to your career, to travel everywhere in the world and play cricket. How was that era like, to be a professional cricketer in India?
No, absolutely. I was just looking forward to that. Because when I made my first series played against Australia in India, I missed
Yes.
out the first test match.
Yes,
So,
sir.
because previous team came, New Zealand came to India just before that, and I was in the reserves in the final test at Hyderabad. And that's
Yes.
where Eknath Solkar made his debut, and Ashok
Right.
Gandotra.
And he was your
Uh,
roommate.
that's right. They were my roommates as well. And so after that, immediately the Australian team came under Bill Lawry's when they played the first because we all had a sort of a camp in Bombay
Yeah.
about 15 days, camp in Bombay. Uh, so I was, of course, being in the reserves for the last test against New Zealand. So I was part of the camp. So I thought that I'll be in the at least in the
You'll
15
be
for the
in. Yes.
at least for the first test because they have not seen me in the New Zealand against New Zealand because I was in the
Right.
reserves. So probably I will have another chance at least to be in the if not playing in the 11. I never thought that I'm going to be in the 11, but at least I'll be definitely in the 15. So,
Yeah.
but it didn't happen. Yeah, I was not in the 15 in the first test match, and
Yeah.
I was planning to come back, but uh, Ms. Prasanna he said no wait
Don't go.
because
Wait in
don't
Bombay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
wait in Bombay. Probably you might be. I mean, he just said that you might be in the second test. You never
Yeah.
know. So being there, because in that atmosphere, because I was with the almost with all the team members, in that camp. So let me watch at least, and let me enjoy that test match because before that only one test match I watched in
Correct.
Madras in '66-7 when Sir
Yes.
Gary Tober's team came in. That's the only test match I watched.
Wow.
So after that, I never seen any test matches apart from the New Zealand when I was in the reserves. So at least let me watch this test match when Prasanna said that and probably you might be there in the you never know in the second test. But thinking that probably you never know, I thought okay. So I watched the test match, and then the fourth day itself, I came to know that I'll be in Kanpur test. That
Yeah.
also, Prasanna told me that it looks like that you will be in in Kanpur test as 15 member,
Yeah.
15th member.
And an eventful debut, sir, for you. Eventful zero in the. You didn't do a lot in
Yeah,
the first innings. Tough times,
absolutely.
tough few
Yeah.
nights, and then to come back and to score that memorable innings at Green Park, I'm sure must have been quite the ride for you.
Oh, absolutely. It was. To start with, it was a nightmare. But yeah, but uh, about 3 nights I couldn't sleep at all
Couldn't sleep at
after
all.
score.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't because after scoring zeros, I thought it's
Yeah.
all over for me. Even after that, next 2 days, 2 nights also I couldn't because the fourth day I was batting with 60 odd runs. So
Correct.
obviously,
69 not out.
yeah.
Yes.
So then obviously you don't get to sleep. Thinking about what will happen. Will you get 100, or if you get 100, what will happen? Because there are so many cricketers, great cricketers of India. They scored 100 in their debut. They never made another
Yeah.
100. Suppose if you get a
Correct.
100, what will
You had
happen to
that in
your
your head.
career? Or if you miss out 100, then what will happen? So everything in your mind. So
Yes.
obviously you don't get sleep. But fortunately, everything went brilliantly for me. I got a
Yes.
100. and of course, and I got more hundreds later on for India, and but
Many, many more.
yeah,
Yes.
that particular test was unimaginable for me. Zero to hero, they say. So it was like that, brilliant.
I love that chapter, sir, in the book, the way you've described it. And one of the moments in that, the key moment there for me is when your hero, the great Tiger Pataudi, came up to you and said, "You will get 100." That
Yeah,
is one of the standout relationships, sir, that I have seen in the book. Your relationship with the great Tiger Pataudi, sir. And sir, I was previously working at a different company before I started this, and there we had the opportunity to interview Bishan Singh Bedi, sir. And Bedi,
uh-huh.
sir, said Tiger Pataudi was an innovation at that time. He was the first one to say, "You're not playing for Bengal, Madras, or Karnataka. You're playing for India." Sir, so
Absolutely, yeah.
that moment made us realize the importance of this man, sir. So how was your relationship with the great man? And you've gone on to explain it in beautiful detail in the book, sir. So if you can sum it up for us, that will be beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I mean, people thought about him and that his aura is different and he's a Maharaja. Of course, he was a Maharaja.
Princely,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Of course, he was totally, and but he never acted like that.
Mm,
Absolutely. I mean, that's 100%.
wow.
I can vouch for it. And he never ever thought. He knew that I mean, he was a prince, yes, but he never acted like that. He never behaved like that with us or any of the cricketers. I mean, I'm talking about cricketing point of view.
Right.
And absolutely, and none of us said, but he was so friendly, and
Mm,
because before that, we already met him, when
right.
he started playing for
Yep.
Hyderabad in our south zone.
South
So
Zone.
I Yeah, so I met him before, and this particular test match, when you just mentioned about, I was watching the game, and he just tapped me from behind, and he said, "Don't, just relax and you get 100." He didn't. I mean, he wanted me to relax. That's all.
Wow.
I don't think he
Yeah.
himself thought about that. I'm going to get 100. But just to try to relax me.
Yes, sir.
And he did relax. I did
Yeah.
relax with that. Totally. And that's that kind of a man he was, and
Just incredible
absolutely.
man management skills, sir.
Terrific,
Yeah.
absolutely. As you mentioned about Bishan saying that you are not playing for Bengal, you're not playing for Karnataka. Absolutely, totally. He never, when he played for India, he played for India. He wanted everyone to play
Wow.
for India. He underlined that. That's it. And only once. It's not that he kept on repeating or no, no, no. He never repeats. Once he
Wow.
says, ah, once it says, it will get into you there straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
that
makes
kind of
me.
attention you get it from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. He had that ability to grasp your attention. So that
yeah.
reminds me of my favorite chapter in the book, and you will be surprised, but I really loved On Tiger's Trail. It was a beautiful story of your holiday in Ooty,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
where you spent time with not just him, but also Sharmila Tagore ji and Rajesh Khanna ji,
Oh,
which is
oh, absolutely
elite
brilliant.
company. And
Yeah,
the most beautiful part, sir, is where you say, now I realize that I have arrived, that I can spend time in the company of superstars. That made me
yeah.
realize where you reached, sir, in those few years. So what was that like,
No,
meeting them, being
exactly.
with them?
That's what I said, because I was so much myself, inside.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know, yeah, I just okay. People say that I was short, and but inside me was totally different. The courage
Mm.
which I had myself, facing fast bowlers and facing on a turner, whatever. That inside me, that I kept it inside itself. That's it. It didn't. But after meeting this kind of people, this kind of the famous, the stars, all these
Superstars.
things,
Yes.
yeah, that opened me up, and that opened me
Wow.
up in the sense the way they relaxed me.
Yeah.
with this kind of background which they had, but still, as an youngster like me, I just played hardly 10 test matches or so. I mean, and behaving with me like that, like morning, Sirmalaji used to come and, how are you? How did you sleep? Did you sleep well? You want a breakfast? This or that, and
Superstar at that time, global superstar.
absolutely. And Rajesh Khanna, he said, hey boy, come on, what's happening? Come on, let's play some table tennis. And
Wow.
Tiger used to come there. Yeah, yeah, let's all enjoy now. Forget about your shooting or our cricket or something like that. We are here to enjoy. I mean, what kind of atmosphere you want?
Wow.
Because I wanted to have a holiday after 5 test series we played against England in 72-3 when
Yes.
Tony Lewis team came. So
Yes.
that's where I wanted to relax, But if on my own, I would have relaxed in a totally different way. But probably I wouldn't have
Mm.
opened up like this. My eyes opened.
Yeah.
They've opened my eyes totally. My career has changed totally. It's unbelievable.
So do you think about it sometimes where do you think about it in this way where Tiger Pataudi knew that this is what you needed to go from being a good player to becoming a player who's confident at the global level, and that's why he did this. He invited you. He didn't leave an option for you and said no, you have to come and be in that company. Do you think about it in that way sometimes, that this is
Sometimes I
something that he
do.
did consciously?
Yeah, sometimes I do think. I mean, probably I told you earlier that we played against each other in
Yeah.
South Zone, Hyderabad and Karnataka or Mysore then, and probably he must have seen me, the shyness or whatever, and so then after I started playing for India, he saw me that, and still probably he thought that something in this boy. So I want him to make him come out of this. I want to come
Wow.
out openly to this world, and he can play freely. That you never know. I mean, he's that kind of a person. 100%. I can watch, as you mentioned. Now I'm thinking about that. Probably he must
Yeah.
have done. I mean, he was like that. Totally brilliant.
Unbelievable. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Visionary, sir. Absolute
yeah,
visionary. There's
totally.
lot of leaders, sir, in Indian cricket over the years, right? I mean, Tiger Pataudi is one person we talk about, but the other enigma who went on to become family for you was Mr. Sunil Gavaskar, who is undoubtedly one of the greats of all time, sir. So,
Absolutely.
there is that account that you mentioned of seeing him make his debut in '71 in West Indies. How has your relationship progressed with Gavaskar sir over the years? Now he's family. What's that been like over the years?
Well, to start with, absolutely nothing but cricket, you know.
Wow.
And I saw him playing before he played for India. Even I have not played for India when he, started playing in Minor Gold Cup, the
Yes.
big tournament those days,
Prestigious tournament in
very
Hyderabad. Yes.
prestigious, and
Yes.
all the cream of Indian players used to play in that.
Sir, I
So
call it the IPL before IPL. It's the original.
yeah, but
Where
different level of cricket in the sense.
different
I mean,
level.
in the
Yes, sir.
sense, I'm not talking about. I'm not comparing, but
The
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
one day cricket is different from.
Absolutely, sir.
But,
Yeah.
I'm talking because those days we are talking that kind of cricket. That's it. I'm not
Right.
comparing anyway.
Not at all, sir.
So
Not me also.
yeah, yeah. So there I saw him playing
Yes.
for Wazir Sultan 11. Like Jaisimha, the senior most used to
ML
captain.
Jaisima.
So, yeah,
Yes.
so under him, all these so-called youngsters, they have a chance to play for India.
Wow.
So they used to be in the team, and because Jaisimha is, big star, and
Yes.
so playing under him, these people will get that confidence, and that's how
Right.
they got the team. Young 11, captained by
Young
one of
11.
the
Yeah.
superstars of Indian cricket. So there, and I was playing for one year. I played for Hyderabad Blues. That is, Mr. Man Singh was in charge of the team, and he asked me to play. So that's where first I saw Sunil playing, even though he never got big scores, but the way he approached, I thought I won't say this young boy he got a chance because I was also very young, but
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
but I could see that he's something else and he is going to be in Indian cricket and for a long time. It's not that the way he approached the technique said it all in one innings I saw.
So that is one hallmark that I have seen in that generation of cricketers is the guts, the mindset and the guts to go out and play the most ferocious fast bowling in the world at that time. The quartet of West Indies obviously came much later, but still there were fast bowlers in the West Indies. There were fast bowlers everywhere around the world. So
Yeah.
that guts and that jigger, sir. There's a word in Hindi called jigger. Where do you think that came from, sir? Then that seems like something that you had, something that sir had. You also speak about Anshuman Gaikwad later being a very gutsy player. We know that Amarnath sir was also very gutsy. So where do you
Yeah.
think that guts came from to face bowling at that level?
Yeah, well, most of the time when we went out, we got used to the fast bowling there, because when you play in domestic cricket, there were quick bowlers, yes. So, but they were good enough, in the sense for us, they were very fast. So when you approach that kind of a thing, so you approach in thinking that they are fast. So that same thing will try to approach there, but it's not the same. The speed wise,
It's not the
the
same.
not the same,
Yes.
and the figure are different from
Tall, bowling
tall.
from second floor.
Yes, yes, at most of them, and but at the same time, we used to play at least a couple of matches before we play the test matches.
Lot of practice matches, right?
Yeah, that really helped us because get used to that pitch, get used to that kind of bowling because we never had any videos or anything like that. And
Yeah.
sometimes, most of the time we didn't even know how they ran, the bowlers,
Yes.
and their
Completely
action,
unknown. Yes.
whether it's side on or coming over their head, or like Croft used to come, run behind the umpire till the
Right. You
last
couldn't see
minute.
him.
You
Yeah,
couldn't see
yeah.
him. And Gardner, I used to get stiff neck when I was playing him. I have to look up like that. All these things, we have to work it out. And that because of
Wow.
three, four matches we used to play before, and then in between the test matches again you play couple of matches, 4-day games or something like that. So all these things help. But nowadays they don't have time for that. They straight away they play,
It's
but
true.
the amount of matches
Calendar is
also they
full.
play is full.
Yes.
So, but
Yeah.
that really helped. And at the same time, I mentioned also in the book that our previous generations, the confidence which they gave it to us, because there were no helmets,
Wow.
nothing. And so when they faced, that's what I always thought that how did they do it? How
Yeah.
did they do it? And except Mr. Contractor's, accident, so nothing major really happened.
Nothing
Uh,
major
be-
really happened. Yes.
and
Yes.
because of the technique which all those people had, they worked it out. So we all thought that when they played like that, why can't we do that? The courage they gave to us, that courage we used it because we had that courage.
Unbelievable, sir. So the you just said you just said in your answer there, how did they do it? But sir, one thing that everybody wonders about you is how did you play on bad pitches, on tough pitches? How did you do that, sir? What was your mindset like when you went out to bat, when your team was 50 for 5, 40 for 6, and you've done it multiple times over your career? So was it like a mental switch that you had? Was it was it naturally triggering something in your mind that you have to play on that day? Because it's a recurring theme throughout your career, sir, that you played on tough days, on difficult situations.
It just happened that, so it's not that.
So
yeah,
you're too modest.
no, honestly, because I never thought about my innings. You know, yeah, it always happened in the middle when I went there. What the bowlers are doing, what the pitch are doing, and that's how I worked it out. Worked it out. It's not that if you're watching in the pavilion before. I used to watch a lot, yes, but the only thing how the pitch is behaving, how the bowlers are trying to bowl. So that's the only this thing I used to think. But once you get in there in middle of the pitch, what it was, the pitch is happening. So according to that, I just played. Whether it's
Full focus.
full focus, yes, it's 50 for 3, same thing I used to apply. If 50 for 1, same thing I used to apply. That's it. Yeah, it's not that, you are sort of superhuman or something like that. You can just go and change according to, oh, yeah, this ball, okay, is nothing. So you can, oh, next ball is going to be there. Thata, thata. No, you have to work it out. You have to think about it there. That's it. So it never worked me from the pavilion or previous night. I used to visualize, yes, the bowlers. That's it. Thinking that if I'm facing Van Older, Holding, Roberts, Gibbs, all these people, I used to think. But next morning never used to happen. But it didn't affect me. But
Right.
only they had these four bowlers, yes. I'm talking about before the four some fast bowlers they had. Before that, these three bowlers and spinner, Gibbs. So,
Gibbs.
yeah. So this I'm talking about just West Indies bowler, which
Yes,
I
of course.
right. So apart
Natural
from the
reasons.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But apart from this, four bowlers they don't they're not going to use other bowlers at all. So a part-time bowler. Why? Because if they need it, yes, that means that they have to play whole day for other bowlers to come in. So these
Yes.
four bowlers they have to bowl. So I just
Yes.
visualize
You
that,
play
but
them out.
yes, I thinking that's the only time I used to visualize before I went to bed, and that's it. Next morning never used to happen. I thought Holding is going to bowl the first ball to me, but it never happened. Gibbs started bowling there, so
But you
it
still
didn't.
visualized every
Yes,
time.
yes, but it didn't mean that. Oh, you got confused because I thought Holding is going to bowl, Gibbs bowling, so it's all over. No,
No.
I also thought about Gibbs. No, so
Application,
that's
sir. It
yes.
comes down to
So
application.
yes.
Yeah.
So that means you have to just switch for a second, Holding to Gibbs. That's it.
It's wonderful, sir. Wonderful, sir. It seems like you're very intuitive. Once you arrived at the crease, then everything stops, right?
Yeah,
It's only there in that moment.
absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely.
6,000 runs, sir. You say 4,000. Obviously, you've mentioned in the book 4,000 that you've hit via one stroke. How did you make them bowl you there so that you can play that shot?
Very easy. I got out. You know,
So
I
easy for you, sir.
I tell you, I got out in the beginning. So they will think that I have a weakness. So they're going to bowl there. So I can master that. I can get runs. That's easy to say,
Very
isn't it?
so, yeah, but you
No, but
executed it. You executed it, and your runs, sir, the way they have come, have been prolific as well. Every 100 in a winning cause. That must make you very proud, sir, isn't it? I mean, when your runs contribute to your team winning, there's no better feeling.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yes, yes. I mean, it's not that hundreds it counted me winning the test matches, even though sometimes I scored 60 or
Or
70,
97.
which the team. Yeah, absolutely. So, it's brilliant. A winning cause is if you are helping, even though if you don't get 100, but if even if you get 30 odd runs, like Oval,
Yes,
that
yes.
33, yeah, the one innings of 33 runs and without a boundary,
Wow. Not a
not
single
even a
boundary. And
single
that is
boundary
rare
I
for you,
scored.
sir, because you scored all
Yeah,
your runs in boundaries.
yeah, yeah. So, it's all situation, it
Wow.
works. You have to think about it. That's it.
Adaptability, sir. I feel that game awareness and adaptability,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
in
yeah.
the way the game has changed today, sir. The way it's become in all these formats. Are there any players that impress you in that regard with their game awareness and adaptability in the modern game?
Well, those who play all the formats, and if they play well,
Yeah.
that's what I want. In the sense, even 2020, the the technique is the same, but execution is different.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know, but without the technique, that you can't play those shots. You might succeed without a technique. Sometimes, sometimes it happens that they don't even see the ball. They do this,
Yes.
ball goes there. Sometimes they just erase the ball. So, these are all, it cannot happen
It's
every
true.
day. Yeah, yeah. But the technique is there, that means, you're watching, then uppercut. Uppercut is not easy. You
Looks
have to watch
easy,
the
but it's
ball till
not.
the end. Looks
Yes.
easy, yes. But adaptability, that is where it counts. If they have that, and with the technique, all the formats, if they play, nothing like it. And there are quite a few they're
Any
playing.
player in particular, sir, in the Indian team currently in the men's team that you've liked in that aspect in terms of adaptability and playing in all formats?
Yeah, like of course, Virat is there,
Yes.
top of the list, and of course, Rohit Sharma.
Again, superb
Yeah, yeah,
player.
yeah, beautiful. Yes, and then I like Shreyas
Shreyas
Iyer.
Iyer. Sir, he
He is
scored
good.
very well at your
Yes,
Green Park. I have to rename it as your Green Park. Scored his
yes,
100
yes,
there.
yes. Yeah, after 20 years, yes, it's lovely. And then KL Rahul, this is a name a few, I mean, it's not only these four, but there are quite a few. There are quite a few, yes. But, they're really good. They're really good.
So, what do
Yeah.
you make of stroke play today? Because you were a very strokeful player. You dealt in boundaries. But today there's so much innovation in batting. The bats are different. There are so many strokes. A lot of players play all over the park. So, what's your observation been like about stroke play? What are the things that you're happy about? What are the things that you think could change? Anything in there?
No, I mean, only the change is playing a lot of shots. Yes, they have to play. No, because the game is like that. The 2020 is nothing but playing your shots,
Yes.
you know. And but as you say, the equipment is changed a hell of a lot. And it's not only in cricket. All the other games also, the equipment made lot of difference to the all the games. Like those days when you're talking about golf, they are all absolutely, big Bhatta is to call, or driver, who totally different. It's a wood. It's called one wood. It was
Yes.
totally a wood.
Yes.
The head is wood
Now
held
it's
up.
not.
But now
Yes.
it's totally different. Yeah. So like that cricket bat, that this much stick they
Yeah.
have, that
And yours were
I
half.
could
Yours was
no
half
that
that.
yeah, I could have at least three
Three
bats,
bats.
if not more.
Yeah,
Three
and you
bats
used a
for me.
lighter bat as
The
well.
weight,
Yes.
lighter, because of my cut
Yes.
and pull. So I used a lighter, not many, but like I've seen, Azharuddin used
Very
to
light
play with
bat.
lighter
Yes.
bats.
Yes.
Yeah, and some of them are little heavy, but not like this, because I know sometime back I tried to lift a bat of these
Modern
people
day
are
bat.
using. Oh, amazing!
Yeah.
Phew, it's heavy,
Heavy.
heavy. I don't know how they, yeah, I don't know how they play with that thickness and the heaviness of the bat. And no wonder it even miss hit. It carries for
Sir,
a
I'll tell you what they
six
do.
these
They are
days.
carrying buckets not with water but with bricks now. So that's how they are exercising.
Yeah, the gymming is
That's what it
too
is, sir.
much
But
here.
you took
Yeah,
that forward a lot, didn't you? For you, fitness mattered. You were a runner. And there's that beautiful story of the great Tiger Pataudi telling you to do something with buckets as well. What is that story?
Tiger told me, "What do you do for your fitness?" Nothing. I just do a lot of running and I go to the steps, I go up and
Right.
down and things. What do you do for your wrist?
Nothing.
I said nothing much. Yeah, I mean just skipping and you don't go to gym. I said gym. What is that? I asked him. And those days for gym and all for me. Absolutely, I never heard. So no, dumbbells. You do? Why don't you do dumbbells? I don't know what is dumbbells. Then I mean, he got fed up. Probably, I think he said, at least you have a bucket in your house. I said
Yeah.
yes. I thought you do one thing. You put water in two buckets and try to lift. Quite a few
Yeah.
times, at least 4 5 times in a day. Try to do at least 40 50 every time. Uh, you know, that
Right.
I thought typical of Tiger. Then I asked
He
Prasanna.
pranking you because he was a prankster.
Yeah, so he is a prankster. So I asked him, Pras, he's telling like this. Hey, he's not joking. Actually, he's trying to, because to work out your wrist, because he told me, he must have told, that, his shots are very good, but still,
Not going
the
to the
wrist,
boundary.
if he can, uh, yeah, if you work on his wrist, probably he's a different player. So he told me like this, why don't you? So I really did that. I mean, even now you can see my wrist, it's
And
still
sir, helping
working.
you with your golf also
So that
now,
really
even
helped me.
now.
Absolutely, yes, it does, yes.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
sir. I mean, what absolutely wonderful opportunity to speak with you. I loved the book, sir, but I think
Oh,
the
thank you.
chapter that I really absolutely loved out of all is human being first, cricketer next. The way you end it, and the values that you spoke about, sir. And I think the
Oh,
recognition aspect of it, when you started realizing that people are recognizing you for what you are and what you did, innocent, beautiful little emotions that you've sort of portrayed throughout the book were amazing, sir. What was your sort of
oh.
favorite part of putting together Rest Assured, and what is it that you want to pass on to the generation via the book?
Yeah, well, whatever you do in your your walk of life, be humble, be what you just be sincere what you're doing, and listen to elders and listen to youngsters
Mm.
as well, because you never know. Some people,
You
even though
might
they
learn
are
from
young,
them. Yes.
yes, if you don't like it, don't say anything to them. You can totally, if you don't like it, ignore on your own, not in front of them. Don't say anything to them. Be good to them. Be nice. Be humble. That will give back to you, and that's what is happening to me. I feel that people are still recognizing me,
Sir, how could we not, sir? You
and
are one of our
so
absolute heroes of
no,
all time in Indian cricket, sir. Absolutely. But I understand what
no,
you're
because
saying. Yes.
uh, yeah. So they that's what I want everybody to be. I mean, I'm not forcing to be, like that. God will always be there to help
So
you.
your humbleness, your humility, your demeanor, the way you speak, the way you write, are all part of your legacy, sir. And we are very thankful that you've put this book together, because as a generation we haven't seen you bat live. Our fathers' generation did. They kept telling us about what we've missed out on.
Yeah.
But at least since we haven't seen you bat, we've now heard the stories from you, and I think that does a little bit of
Yeah.
justice to all of that. So thank you so very much for being on the podcast.
Hope
It
so.
was a
Thank
wonderful
you very much.
experience to
Lovely.
speak with you.
Same here.
Thank you,
Lovely.
sir.
All the
Thank you so
best.
very much.
Yes.